sound of footsteps in the dark, to voices that may not be quite human, to the sound of screams in the night. The Haunted Cabaret, the home of all things horror, on Rhode with your host, George Garner. The Haunted Cabaret starts now. All right. This is Black Sabbath, Fairies Wear Boots, from a long, long time ago. I don't even think that's classic rock anymore. I think that's fossil rock, antique rock, something like that. But anyway, still a good track. I'm George Garner. This is the Haunted Cabaret. And this week, we have guests. The band is called Lines and Lust. And they used to be called a bunch of other things, all having to do with necrophilia and all of the things dear to my heart. So, all right, so why don't you introduce yourselves?
Okay. I'm Kate. I'm the lead singer.
And I'm Andrew. I'm the guitarist.
Okay, and who does the lines and who's got the lust?
Obviously, I have the lust. And the lines.
Thank you.
Obviously. Okay, now... Lines and Lust. So, what would I ask anybody in a band? That why? What's going on in your heads? Why do something really stupid like being an original band in Rhode Island, in New England? Why bother doing this?
Because it's what I love to do.
Yeah, it's a passion. It's
good
a passion project.
Good answer. A cliched answer, but a good answer. Because
the only answer you can have.
Well, no, I've heard a lot of really stupid answers. I've heard a lot of stupid effing answers to that question. For example, make money.
Yeah, that won't happen.
I mean, I was actually told that.
Spend money is a more reasonable answer.
Yeah, it's kind of like you can do if you want to just waste money. If you just want to piss money and piss the times of your life,
light it on fire and throw it out this window.
Yeah, we'll kick you in the balls right now, throw you out the window. I mean, that will. Then you can just stop right there. That'll duplicate the experience of live music in Rhode Island. I mean, right. See, Tony and I, we know this well. We are veterans of the circuit. We have gone through the trials, tribulations. Tony, am I leaving anything out?
If you get to a certain age, it's not kicking you in the balls; it's kicking you in the hemorrhoids.
Well, the only way to avoid being kicked in the hemorrhoids is to stay, as I do, to stay mentally immature.
You are the world's oldest living teenager.
Yes, I am. Although I have to say, though, that now that I've taken a slight stab at respectability, I would say that
You went legit.
I don't know if I would say that. I mean... But I will say that I think I might have, in the last couple of years, moved from teenager all the way to my college years.
It's Animal House.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right about now, I'm ready to enroll in CCRI and, chase the single mothers. Tony, that was a nice tip for anybody looking to get laid in this state. I'll tell you, I never...
Especially it's going to be free soon, so I mean, you don't even have to spend any money to meet the single mothers.
I'm so glad I went to college and paid for it all for so long.
Yeah, every time I make a payment on my student loan, I just want to take Governor Raimondo and shove the statement right up her friggin' ass. like I really do.
I'd pay to see that.
I would pay to see...
I think we might have a possible video podcast on our hands.
Yeah, I think we're on to something here.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to see Gina Raimondo without pants, though, because... Yeah, I mean, there are some things in this world. Now, this is the Haunted Cabaret. This is the home of all things horror.
That's pretty horrible.
We have our limits. As H.P. Lovecraft once said, there are things that are unthinkable, unspeakable, and unknowable. Mm. Is Gina Raimondo a woman?
Allegedly.
That's unknowable, right? Because I have my doubts. I really doubt. I mean, that could be a cyborg. That could be an android. That could be a man. That could be someone that she doesn't have a friggin' clue what she is.
It's a song right there.
I spin off song topics. Are
you writing this down, Kate?
But anyway, yeah, so college. Yes, I think I'm prepared to enroll in college and chase those single mothers at CCRI. Tony, how many women tried to pick you up? Because Tony Jones took a couple of classes.
As soon as they found out I had a job,
yeah, Tony, he pulled up in his car, right?
There it is, car, number one.
College education, job.
Yeah, and
in Rhode Island terms, PIMP.
Now, you didn't make the mistake of telling anybody that at the time you were working at Electric Boat, right?
Oh, no, then they would have killed me.
I mean,
they would have
life insurance. They would have been like pulling your zipper down right in the parking lot.
They would have been proposing to me.
Yeah, I mean, they would have been mobbing you right at the desk in that classroom. I mean, yeah, because, not only a job, but a good job. But, yeah, and didn't you find one trying to sneak in the trunk one day, or was that just rumor?
If that did happen, I don't recall, and I'm not just saying that for our legal department. That's the truth.
But anyway, so that's one of the key things that you guys will find out is to maintain yourselves in a band, mental immaturity.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
I actually got my college degree in mental immaturity, so I mean,
I dropped out of college 3 times. You know that?
Because of your mental immaturity.
Yeah, exactly. But the first time I dropped out was because of my mental immaturity, and I couldn't score the girl I wanted to score, so I left. Then I said to myself, then I went back because I said, "There's something wrong in this country because." Isn't it like a pervasive mental brainwashing in this country that you have to go to college? You're supposed to go to college. You'll shit on the sidewalk if you pick up a shovel or, a mop or a cloth. In other words, if you do anything but become a lawyer, right, or, I don't know. There's only 3 things respectable in this country, right? Lawyers, drug dealers.
and drug dealers that deal drugs to lawyers.
To lawyers, right. Right, and if you want to be any of the above, you need a college education. Unless you join a cartel in Mexico and then come over the border, then you're good to go. You don't need college.
That was my first
you're a
plan,
madman.
actually, before college.
Wait, to go down there, then come back here. That's not a bad idea. And let me tell you, folks, if I'm not going to be the one that discourages you from dealing narcotics. I'm really not. I mean, I'm not saying do it.
We'll encourage it.
But if you're going to do it, my address is...
We're here at 65 Manchester Street.
No, I mean, our president, trust me, folks, there's not going to be a big, gigantic stone wall down there. It's not going to happen. So, any of you, smuggle... If you're smuggling anything, probably smuggling some of those single mothers up from... from Mexico up to Tony Jones's car.
Once again, we're at 65 Manchester Street.
Okay, for the moment, let's go back to the music. Then we're going to come back and talk to Lines and Lust about their music. All right, let's, Goat Whore. Goat Whore is on the playlist, Tony. Yeah, When Steel and Bone Meet, here on the Haunted Cabaret on Rhode Island Free Radio.
King of the holy
All right, that was Goat Whore, and I have just figured out. Well, I didn't figure out. It didn't take any great mental effort because she told me that. Yeah, I have a fellow Goat Whore fanatic
Yay.
sitting right at this very table.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you met him? Have you met him?
No, I haven't.
I did.
Oh.
No, the only what we mentioned during the music was Goat Whore is one of those names. The name alone is going to break them through.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Now it's taken a while because I don't know. It's as a matter. I'm not sure if I would call. It's not death metal per se, though, right? It's not death. As a matter of fact, when I went to see them at the Palladium, they made a couple of stage remarks that they're trying to figure out how to market their music. You know, this song is, whatever you want to call it, because I guess they're settled on blackened death metal, which is, that's, I mean, it's, no, that isn't going to do it.
It's too much.
It's too much. Me personally, next time I run into them personally, my suggestion is just going to be black death metal. 3 words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you call it BDM.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I've solved their problem. I just have to run into them again to let them know that I did.
Just go give him a call.
Yeah.
Again,
Now,
we're at 65 Manchester Street.
in the meantime, why don't you tell me a little bit about your music? Because just to be upfront, now I haven't listened to anything you've done yet. Now, I do this on purpose because whenever I have a musical guest or a written word guest, I make a point of not listening or not reading ahead of time. Because what if they suck? Right? Now I have these people booked in, and I have to talk to people that I know suck.
Plus, if we commission you to write a review and you think they suck, now you've written a review that they suck and they're here in front of you. I mean, that's just a good way to get your ass whooped all up and down West Warwick.
Right.
Very true.
Right. Now, my Trump-like ego doesn't give a damn if I sit across from people I think suck that don't like me. But it doesn't make for constructive radio conversation. It really doesn't. I mean, the last time I came close to that, Tony, was when I used to work at our, I don't want to say rival. They're not much of a rival,
Yeah.
but our sister internet radio company, B.O.B., and Pal, he's a cool guy. He taught me a lot about this business. But he booked, without asking me one time, onto my show these, I don't know, what would teenage, like...
Yeah, pop punk, almost more,
yeah,
like Disney Channel, Disney
yeah, like
Radio.
if Miley Cyrus was doing pop punk.
Right, yeah.
That's what he booked on my show. Mm-hmm. It was in his best interest because he was going to get good ratings for doing it. And so, now, kidding aside, I don't like to say anything like, just trash anybody. I really don't. Unless your name is Gene Simmons and you're trying to copyright the Bones, I will verbally trash. Anything less than that, I try to find something nice to say. Like, for example, on that pop punk group, I managed to say, okay, the recording, I'm saying, you guys seem like you're, determined, you know what you're doing, you're trying for it, good for you. But anyway, so having said all that, that means I haven't heard your music. So you're going to have to just tell me and tell our thousands upon thousands of loyal listeners why they should listen to you. As soon as we're done with this interview, why I should run out and get your music, and why they should download and listen. What are you guys into?
Well, we don't have quite a distinct sound yet.
Oh, this is bad already.
Yeah, right? We're more geared towards punk than anything, I'd say, but we're kind of dipping our fingers into
dipping
things.
into things is good. When you say punk, though, now Tony and I have come up with this. When people ask us, what do we play? And we say punk. We have in mind, like, the Ramones when we say punk. Somebody that's, like, 20 years old is going to have in mind...
Green Day.
Green Day. Yeah, good example. Yeah. So, punk is now... It's not the explanation that it used to be.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, you guys, like, more old-school influenced, this new thing...
It's definitely got more of an old school vibe to it. It's fast, it's loud, and it's short and sweet. It doesn't try to overcomplicate itself. It doesn't try to do too much. I mean, there's 5 of us, and we really don't want to battle each other. We'd like to complement each other, and I think we're trying to find that balance right now. But if we had to pinpoint it, it would be more of an old school punk rock vibe.
Okay, so I will listen to it after all. I will check it out. Now, Wines and Lust, subject matter, because I know when I write, when I work with Tony, I mean the subjects boil down to either monsters, pussy, or passing out drunk on the bathroom floor.
Mental immaturity.
What's that?
Mental immaturity.
Well, yes, the graphic results of mental immaturity on both our parts. So we don't have a wide range of subject matter that we deal with. We just do it. We just deal with it again and again, and try to say it better next time. Subject matter. Now you mentioned goat horde. Does that mean we're going to hear about?
No.
Yeah. Does that mean we're going to hear about Satan? Does that mean we're going to hear about? Well, actually, Satan.
When I write, I kind of just go from personal experience. It's what brings out my most emotions, I guess you could say.
Okay, so in
kind
other
of
words,
cliche on that part, but it's true.
Okay, so that means you're the lust of the band name, and what you write is based on your personal experiences.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, all right, check this out. Buy the album, download it, download the music. You're going to hear an entire CD, an entire album about screwing. Yes?
No. I mean, I've written a lot about just past relationships and, I don't know, kind of my ups and downs in life. And
people that you've killed.
Exactly. Where I bury them,
boyfriends you've
like
killed. All right, okay, we're getting some interest here. We're getting some interest. See, if you notice, it's the Haunted Cabaret, the home of all things horror. I'll stretch it, but I will always make that effort to twist it around to something within my immature sphere of interest.
Yeah. And I'm perfectly okay.
And our listeners' immature sphere of interest. Believe me. Don't worry. We're all in this together.
It's not enough that we're geezer teens. It's the fact that there are thousands and thousands of geezer teens around the world.
Geezer teen. Now,
that's a good band name too.
That's a great band name.
I'll tell you, we do this every now and then, especially when Chuckles the Clown's at the table, right, Tony? Every now and then, we'll start throwing ideas back and forth, and we actually have to stop because we know that people are listening. We know that, we have to copyright a lot of this crap, before we let it get out there and let other people take our, hard-earned money away from us. Well, not hard-earned. We don't do anything to earn our money, but we seem to make some of it. I don't know, Tony, I think we're a lot more successful than we deserve to be. I
agree with that. Every morning when I shave and look in the mirror, I think that exact same thing.
It's like Stuart Smalley talking to himself in the mirror.
Yeah, it's like, what did we do to deserve this? All right. Ooh, you know what? Despite Tony Jones saying that Kiss sucks, because I'm the only person and proud of it in this room who is a Kiss fan, Tony, because he indulges me and because I'm a great talent he doesn't want to lose.
The sign of a true professional.
The sign of a true...
I know how to take care of my main eventers.
And this week, he is taking care of this main eventer with the title track, as a matter of fact, from Kiss, Creatures of the Night, here on the Haunted Cabaret on Rhode Island Free Radio. All right, that was little Kiss, Creatures of the Night. In my opinion, well, that must have been a little... Tony, you're gagging on that skunk beer over there again? Yeah. First album with Eric Carr on the drums. Good stuff as far as I'm concerned. Not so good when the guy in the band's trying to copyright the Bones. I mean, I'll tell you, and with all due respect, I've always liked Kiss for the music. I always thought the show was kind of carnival and lame. I always thought that, well, let's just put it this way. They make it really hard for you to like them. and this is, I thought that they reached the limit with that football team.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, remember they tried to launch a reality show based on Kiss buying a football team, and what was it, touch football or lick football or some kind of thing. And if you blinked, you missed it. What was on? It was on like one of those cable channels. What, AMC
I think I remember
maybe?
seeing
It was
that
on the
too.
deep, the
If
deep
you,
channel.
then you have a good memory because I think it was there and gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
there were-
next to reruns of Roseanne and Archie Bunker. Like, it was on the deep channels.
basically. And guess who I would rather watch? I'll tell you, I still will catch reruns of Archie Bunker. No question about it. Especially him and George Jefferson. I mean, never mind Black Lives Matter. If you want an honest discussion of the racial question in this country, actually kidding aside, I mean, watch All in the Family.
Go
and
to
listen-
TV Land.
Yeah, and listen to those back and forths between Archie Bunker and George Jefferson. I mean, that's the most honest discussion of race relations you're going to get.
They were highlighting issues even shows now are afraid to touch.
Oh, you kidding? They will never, ever.
No.
No. They'd get sued. They'd be shut down for even mentioning the subjects that they talked about on that show. But anyway, have we actually even talked about your band yet?
Slightly.
Touched on it, yeah.
We started.
Okay, before I do anything else and we wander away again. Now, you're playing. Give us your playing where and when, and where we can check you out online. The necessary stuff before we go off on another side trip.
Okay. We're playing at Alchemy on Thursday with Tony Jones and Wolfman Chuck. And then
Shore City.
Shore City.
Tony Jones is sitting this one out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah.
My bad.
Rhode Island Free Radio's producing the show.
Right, okay.
The 3 and 3 are not playing because I can't play that night because I have to go to work.
Because he went legit.
Oh, okay.
There's a toga party.
I am attending college.
What about a Rhode Island Free Radio toga party?
That's not bad. You know, we should do something. It's been 6 months because the last time we had festivities dedicated to me, which I think there should be more of, we had the my bachelor show, right, which was a one-time event, still remarked.
Hopefully.
Well, I'm not going to get divorced and married again just so we can have another bachelor show. I mean, as much fun as it was, although I don't know, it's tempting. But I don't know. 6 months in, what excuse could we have to? I don't know. Maybe. Was that
Halfway to Halloween? Or are we past that?
No, but I want it to be in honor of me.
Oh.
Well, it can be Halloween too. That's important.
It is important.
It is. No, I'm not saying it isn't. Like paying respects to Satan is always important. But, we missed Valpagus night. Right, that was May Eve. We missed that. I don't know, but we're going to put some thought into this. I mean, I don't know. I need some excuse to be the center of attention again.
All right.
Before Halloween.
Hey, you should have your own radio show. Oh, wait.
I am not satisfied with that anymore. I used to be. I used to be sad. So I think it's maybe the insidious influence of Donald Trump on this country. Like a lot of people blame him for everything else. But I think Donald Trump has just focused on narcissism. Egotism and narcissism as the path to happiness. Before he was elected, I was satisfied being in a band with songs on the charts. I was satisfied with my music being used as a soundtrack in a theatrical production. Which, by the way, Tony, there should be
Which R.J. Gregory has actually watched.
I own the DVD.
There's a DVD of that play. Come over here. We are bringing over our drummer and drummer of Lines and Lust, who was going to talk in the second half, but he's going to talk right now. Tell me about this. There is a DVD released of the soundtrack of American Stripper, the theatrical production of which we participate in.
American Stripper?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking of Dr. Frankenstein.
We were thinking
yeah.
of Dr. Frankenstein. We were in the
No. That's our music on the movie soundtrack of
see, Tony, you got us all screwed up.
No, talk about that though, because that's ego stroking too.
Well, when Dr. Frankenstein's it's such a long title, but
That's a go. Reel it out there.
It they had the DVD release
What,
of the movie.
Now, see, Dr. Frankenstein's Castle of Blood-Sucking, Drinking. What was it?
It was
Wax.
it was
Yeah,
big.
it's a
It was
long
like
title.
Wax, Dr. Wax, but believe it or not, for a low budget horror film, the storyline was actually good.
All right.
Took place at the Nightmare Gallery in Salem, Mass, which was really cool.
Okay.
I frequent that place, but at the end was the best part because. Tony Jones and the Cretin 3, Lady Frankenstein.
We were on the soundtrack,
Yeah,
right?
we were. Yeah, they didn't release the soundtrack, which sucked, but we were on the movie, and they released the DVD of it,
And actually-
sold quite a few copies. Not even kidding you. Yeah, they did.
Now,
pretty good.
in true Rhode Island form, they asked me to have a small role in that movie, but I was too lazy to drive up to Salem to film it. I'm
Yeah,
like, Salem?
which was awesome because they were in. Not to get off subject, but they were in Salem. But then they go out the back door of the Nightmare Gallery, but then all of a sudden they're in Waterplace Park.
It's funny how,
How do
that
you do
works
that?
through the
Teleporting.
magic of television.
Yes.
But
Yeah, and actually, Tony was so late. You sent them a song that we had recorded like years before.
Well, they had specifically asked.
Oh, they did ask for that
They
track.
said, "Do you have a song about Frankenstein?" And I said, "Well, we kind of do."
kind of, yeah. And
Oh,
that,
okay.
And that was that was when we recorded in the basement of that guy's house.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. That's how far back it was. Yeah.
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 Yeah, and as a matter of fact, there were a few reviews of that movie saying that song was the the only good part of it. But
They sold quite a few copies to the point where they almost made Blu-ray copies of it because I originally put in for a Blu-ray copy and they didn't sell quite. I guess it
they
sold-
didn't go over that mark.
Did
Yeah,
they
they
did
got
they-
close, but I mean they sold quite a few of them.
Did they have any laser discs?
I kind of wish they did. I still have my Laserdisc player.
Really?
I'm waiting for the comeback.
I know those laserdiscs were pretty cool looking though. They look like flying saucers.
And they look like they're indestructible. Like when the apocalypse hits and there's no entertainment, we're all going to flock to RJ's house and we'll have the indestructible laser discs to watch.
Well, we can use them. We can use them for shields against the radiation. Strap them to our right arm like Roman shields.
Laser disc over your crotch so you don't get testicular cancer.
And then we can have an apocalyptic performance by Tony Jones and the Cretin 3 and Lines and Lust. There you go.
Works for me. Okay. But yeah, well, actually, what'll probably happen is we'll be using those shields to ward off the peeps. True story. They did some scientific experiments back in. It was the military funding the experiments because they wanted to see what substances could best live through or survive intact through a nuclear blast.
My liver.
Not Twinkies?
Twinkies came in. They did all right. Twinkies did all right. But now they set off a nuclear bomb that, and I'll tell you, my dad, we go off on these tangents. My dad was in the Navy years ago, and he was on leave on the West Coast, and he was hanging around at the docks. He just got off his ship, when they towed in the aircraft carrier that they exploded the nuclear bomb to see what would happen.
Oh, wow.
And he said that you remember what some of us will remember what I'm talking about. In other words, the military used to explode nuclear bombs back in like the 40s and 50s.
Hence the hills have eyes.
Right. And exactly.
Hence
That's-
West Warwick, Rhode Island.
Actually, West Warwick, Rhode Island, you wouldn't be able to tell if the bomb exploded here
Did you
or not.
see any Hills Have Eyes cast of characters when you were coming down here?
I mean, are we allowed to comment on that? I don't want to upset the neighbors.
But yeah, exactly. The hills have eyes. The military used to explode nuclear bombs in the middle of different things. Like they'd build a village, put a bunch of mannequins in it, explode the bomb to see what would happen. Well, what the hell else you think is going to happen?
Incredible Hulk.
Right. But one time they assembled, and this is where our tax money goes. Just, you know, a little political sidelight for Tony Jones there. They assembled a whole fleet of Navy ships and decided to drop a nuclear bomb right in the middle of them. So then what my dad saw was, and this is another work of military genius, they towed in the highly radioactive aircraft carrier that had just been at ground zero and docked it in San Francisco Harbor.
How's everybody feeling?
Why is my hair falling out?
And I'll tell you, my dad came down with 3 kinds of cancer in later years. You know what I'm saying? And he never made the connection. But when he told me that story, it's like, you realize, you know, He said that ship was melted like ice cream in the sun.
Wow.
You know, being, you know, in the proximity of that nuclear explosion. One thing that didn't melt like ice cream in the sun was Peeps.
And I love Peeps.
Peeps.
It's disturbing.
Yes. The Peeps were exposed to the equivalent of a nuclear blast. They kept their shape.
The whole inline of your body is just.
I love it. I'm going to blow right up like a Peeps.
Yeah, so
It's going to be buoyant.
It's like
in the
Alien.
water.
It's like Alien, except a peep comes out.
I love it.
So if we start World War III in Syria, you know that our enemy is not going to be the living dead. Our enemy that we're going to fight off with those laser dish shields is going to be a legion of Peeps.
That's awesome.
Be an
I might
awesome
be able to
movie.
eat my way through an army
Yeah.
of Peeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same
I
thing.
want a percentage. You do that. I want a percentage.
Copyright right now, 65 minutes.
All right, let's go. Tony, how much more time do we got in this madhouse?
We are, after this tune, we'll have about 10 minutes left.
All right, that works. Okay. In the spirit of depravity and weirdness, let's play some Alice Cooper. How about Is It My Body here on the Haunted Cabaret on Rhode Island Free Radio?
What have I got that makes you want to love me? Is it my body? Someone I might be? Something inside me? You better tell me. It's really up to you. Have you got the time to find out who I really am? Oh. What does it take to get inside of your mind? Give me a break, yeah, and take a chance for the very first time. You better tell me, it's really up to you. Have you got the time to find out who I really am? What have I got that makes you want to love me? Is it my body? Someone I might be? Something inside me? You better tell me. It's really up to you. Have you got the time to find out who I really am?
All right, that was Alice Cooper. Is It My Body off the Love It to Death? And again, if Fairies Wear Boots is fossil rock, Love It to Death, Alice Cooper's, I think, third album. I think we're going back to like the early, actually no, about the same time as Sabbath's Fairies Wear Boots. 'Cause Fairies Wear Boots was on Paranoid about 71 172,
I mean,
and so was Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper hung out with Pablo Picasso and Salvador Dali, like people in art history books.
Right.
He hung out with, and he's still,
and he's still alive
kind
to
of
tell us
still
about
alive.
it.
If you've seen him on stage lately, you might
Wonder.
Right,
but he's most alive on the golf
still
course,
out
right?
there,
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say this if Chuckles the Clown was, sitting here with us out of respect, but I don't know. Ever since Alice Cooper got Jesus, it's like he's better out on the golf course than he is making albums.
And
I'll
I
tell
think
you
he
that.
opened like a barbecue restaurant too, right?
Serving what? That makes me nervous, Jesus or not.
That makes me just as nervous as
Abdullah
Abdullah
the
the Butcher's
Butcher.
barbecue restaurant.
Now that one there, yeah. The only thing that would make me more nervous than Abdullah the Butcher was if Idi Amin should come back and tell us.
Abdullah the Butcher serves the ribs and his, his headlines.
Yeah, he keeps the little napkins of silverware in his head scars. You guys wrestling fans too?
Huge. Yes.
Okay, at this very table, goat horror and wrestling.
Rare breed.
I'll tell you, I'm almost scared to ask anything else. I mean, this might be like the triple that's hit out of the park or something like that. Wrestling? Which wrestling? Who?
Now, just keep in mind, we only have 10 minutes left in your program.
Yeah.
I'm only
We
going.
could go on forever.
Yeah, this is going to last only 2 minutes. We're only going to acknowledge your interest in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean,
Let Andrew can talk about it too. He's a big wrestling fan too.
oh, I'm looking at
I'm
both
a
of you.
huge wrestling
Yeah.
nerd. Yeah. For my birthday, my dad took me to King of the Ring with the Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker and Mankind. That was my first wrestling experience.
That was your first wrestling.
That was my very first wrestling experience. The pay-per-view in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I would bow to you if my head would not hit this microphone. That's my favorite wrestling period was the Attitude Era.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
My
nothing,
favorite too.
nothing will ever be better than that.
No, and
It-
you had the Monday Night Wars going on with WCW, and even they were putting out some good product every now
No. Oh, okay.
They,
He's fired. He's done.
Stop. You're not hitting the triple. WCW sucked.
But
WC, there's no but.
I might need to
No,
walk
but
away a
it-
minute.
it pushed,
WCW sucked from the moment Ted Turner bought that organization,
yeah, and he put Bischoff in charge.
and he put Bischoff in charge, which is kind of like putting.
I feel like a Batista bomb's coming.
Actually, my words fail me.
It's kind of like hiring DJ Psycho Eddie and I as your personal trainers.
Yeah, kinda, sorta, but worse. Because the first thing he did is he created the Dungeon of Doom. See, I have a good memory. When I say something sucks, I can back it up really good. They got Earthquake and they put a shark on him.
yeah,
Mark Tenta went from being Earthquake. Then they told him he was going to be the shark, so the dumb bastard goes and gets a tattoo of a shark over his lion so he can be the shark. And then Eric Bischoff tells him 2 weeks later, no, you're not the shark anymore.
right.
You're back to being plain old Mark Tenta. Lose the shark.
Lose the shark, get a skullet tattoo instead.
Yeah. And then they covered Brutus Beefcake
Yeah.
with a bunch of polka dots and turned him into the Zodiac.
That was weird.
Yeah, I think it was polka dots, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from that auspicious beginning, then WCW decided that you couldn't call a foreign object anymore because somebody in human relations decided foreign object, which for non-wrestling fans is a weapon you bring into the ring, thus it is foreign to the ring.
Right.
They thought that a foreign object was something that comes from Europe or Asia. And so it wasn't going to be called a foreign object anymore. It was now an international object. Ooh, look at Kevin Sullivan. He's about to hit Sting with an international object.
He's been hit with a French baguette.
Need I say any more? But yes, WWF Attitude, best ever.
Yeah.
By far.
ECW, almost. Because WWF did the rare trick of taking what ECW did really well and then they added larger than life personalities
Right.
to
And
it.
brought it to a
Right.
bigger audience instead of bingo halls.
I don't know. Watching, the Sandman and
Oh
stuff
no!
like that was
I
pretty
no. That's like I said. I give it. No, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I just have to. Well, like Andrew said though, it's Sandman versus Tommy Dreamer, or Undertaker versus Mick Foley.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by what I'm saying. Vince McMahon
Right.
somehow managed to combine the superheroes with the extreme violence and attitude.
Right. And ECW just didn't have the history that those two characters did. Those were two guys that had been around and evolved.
They had been around the
10
circuit.
times over.
Yeah.
And kudos to somebody like The Undertaker to keep his gimmick going over 20, 30 years and constantly being the same person, but just evolving with the years and the periods. It's
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that the Undertaker, and we're going to close the Tony. I promise, we're going to start. We'll close the wrestling
Turning into a
right
wrestling podcast.
right now. We've done this before. We've
happens.
done this before. Wrestling talk has broken out, unexpectedly many times before.
International wrestling talk.
That sounds a
I will-
lot
I
worse
will-
than it meant to be.
I will never forget that ever. When I'm senile, and I will forget most things in my life. I'll forget my wife's name, but I will not forget the friggin' international object pulled out of Kevin Sullivan's trunks on WCW wrestling. But no, what I was going to say is Undertaker. What I'm hoping, which isn't going to happen because Vince McMahon now has lost his marbles.
He's
too.
gone legit.
he's senile.
He's senile. He's steroid-nile.
Yeah.
Steroids
No, that's all natural.
on Vince.
No, it's not.
The only thing natural on Vince right now is his mouth, and I don't even mean his lips. I mean what comes out of him.
And his testicles the size of a rat turd.
Well, that's why Linda McMahon, talked Donald Trump into bringing her to Washington so that she wouldn't have to, live with Vince McMahon anymore. That's what I think happened. But no, what they need to do in WWE is bring back valets and managers. That way, we can have Ric Flair come back as a manager, as an evil manager, and we can have the Undertaker come back as the satanic sorcerer persona. Remember when he hurt his knees that time, and
Yeah.
he couldn't. You're right,
Ministry.
Right,
Did the corporate
Ministry of
ministry.
Darkness.
Yep.
He has to bring back the Ministry of Darkness.
That'd be amazing.
That would be awesome.
But, no one listens to true fans, so
No,
it's all PG era now.
no. Lately, Vince McMahon is determined to naysay the true fans. I think that's what it is. If you suggest something to him as a fan, he'll do something that's the opposite to prove that you're wrong.
Was the Ministry of Darkness when they hung Big Boss
That
Man
was, I think,
from
that was
the
the
steel
corporate
cage?
ministry.
That
at
was
that
corporate
point,
ministry?
Yeah, that was corporate ministry. Yeah, I don't. That was silly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
I
was
saw
silly.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake doing some actual barbering a few weekends ago. I mean, how bizarre is that?
And how did he do?
It was awful. he hacked
yes,
this
when-
poor kid's head up, man.
Okay, Tony, how are we doing for time here?
We are actually just about out of time for, we can have one more track.
All right. So we'll say good night from the Haunted Cabaret. Thank you to Lions and Lust for being here.
Thank
You're
you.
also going to
Thanks for
be on
having
the
us.
Tony Jones show, so you are not vanishing from our studio.
One of the
quite as
top-rated
yet.
podcasts in the nation.
Yeah, what number is that, Tony?
I'm really counting on you guys tonight because I'm down to number 22, but they do ratings in real time. I haven't put any new content up, so I'm counting on George Garner and Lions and Lust to really have me break at least the top 5, so a lot of pressure.
Tony Jones, number 9, even down to 22, going back to number 9.
Hopefully over number 9.
Well, we're aiming for number 5, at least in the next couple of
just
days.
Just the pleasure of beating out the Snoop Dogg by one position is enough for me this week, though.
All right, Tony, let's get out of here. Let's do Guns N' Roses. That's always good. Let's get out of here with Mr. Brownstone here in the Haunted Cabaret on Rhode Island Free Radio. Nighty night.
So usually starts around 7. We go on stage around 9. Get on the bus about 11. Sipping a drink and feeling fine. We've been dancing with Mr. Brownstone. He's been knocking. He won't leave me alone. No, no, no. He won't leave me alone. I used to do a little, but a little wasn't doing, so the little got more and more. I just keep trying to get a little better, a little better than